Brand the Gap by Nadine Eddy. Welcome to part 2. The title is Brand Architecture and Positioning. So let's get straight into it. If you haven't listened to my first part, well, please go back. And if you are back after enjoying part 1, welcome back to part 2. Today focuses on brand architecture and positioning, of course. So let me go into disclosing that I am not a brand expert. Okay, let's get that out the way. All I'm speaking about is the experience I have had within my career journey, as well as graduating and studying brand architecture and marketing within the PR space and ever learning. So yeah, like I said, today's part will be focusing on brand architecture and positioning. I think what I'll do is I'll start defining what brand architecture is in layman's terms. So brand architecture is considered as a roadmap or a guide with the objective to guide, extend, separate, create sub-brands and develop new products. That's basically what brand architecture is. The objective of brand architecture basically carves out and helps navigate the direction of the brand's identity. Okay, whether it's designing or reminding clients or consumers of the value proposition that the brand or the brand entire family offers to you as a client or consumer. Okay, that's brand architecture in a nutshell. Let's go into brand positioning, but I think I'll add some examples so you can just be like, oh, that's what it is. Oh, that's what it is. Brand positioning, right? Brand positioning, it is the unique value that the brand presents to the consumer, whether it be tangible or intangible, or even both. In layman's terms, it basically makes the difference or solves the solution or the problem for the client. If I think about examples, the first one will be, let's use a toothpick, a household objective, okay? Toothpick, someone came up with the toothpick. Oh, I have an inconvenience in my mouth, it's bothering me, it causes embarrassment, irritation. So let's just take a piece of wood, carve it out on either side and make it really sharp. So what does that do? It solves the problem of the irritation and the embarrassment. A simple toothpick. How does the brand then get into your house? You choose the brand. But the objective of the brand or the product that is being sold is to solve the irritation and embarrassment. Simple terms. Let's take a razor blade. Razor blades solve the fact that you want to get rid of unwanted hair, and then we package that, make it look pretty, give you different versions, different blade selections, and we build a competition around it and give more offering, diversify the offering to the client. But the objective of a razor blade is to get rid of unwanted hair, right? Third example would be, let's use milk. Almond milk, specific niche, okay? But I still believe, I know almond milk is made out of nuts, but let's go to cow milk. Cow milk, in my head, or how I see it, it always just comes from one freaking cow, and we just package it in different brands, and we give it different price points, and give the client option. But then you get a brand that says, hold on, let's not stop there. Let's position our brand to a new market, which might be lactose intolerant clients, right? And then you get lactose intolerant milk for people that don't enjoy the experience of milk but don't want to still miss out on the taste of milk. Oh, cool, let's package that, put a price to it, add a little extra because of the effort. There we go. Same brand, different positioning, solving a problem. And that's what you want. For example, Coke their positioning is to quench the thirst in a family environment, in a jolly environment, in a happy environment. But then their brand architecture it's quite multi-selective. Let's give the client multiple selections like Sprite, Fanta Orange, Fanta Grape, Grenadilla Twist, Lemon Twist, and then we offer just plain water. So that's the brand architecture under the brand positioning, which means let's quench the thirst, but we give the client more options under our brand architecture. I hope that helps. And then you might be asking, hey Nat, how the hell do I carve out my brand? I need help. Okay, cool. Let's first get you familiar with the different types of brands. So for example, you get house of brands, which it covers having a master brand and having sub-brands under it. For example, let's use P&G. We know it as P&G, but P&G is the abbreviation for Procter Gamble, right? Procter Gamble, yes, P&G. Under Procter Gamble, you have Old Spice that caters to men in a specific LSM. Then they have Pampers, which is aimed at mummies and babies. And then we have Always Pads, which is for women. And then Gillette, which is for men. So specific. So that's basically House of Brands. So in your sphere of influence, you need to start asking these type of questions. How do people perceive me as a brand? I am not seen, first of all, as the same individual in different sphere of influences. For example, you're not the same person when you're at home and you're at work. You're not the same person when you're with hubby or with wifey, when you're out with the boys or with the girls. Am I right? Yes, because you are multifaceted as an individual. But what you got to be more cognizant of is the fact that how do you want people to perceive you as a brand in these spheres of influence? How do I better myself? How do I articulate myself better? And how do I allow people to see me the way I see myself? That's what you got to think about. You know what I mean? Then the other thing is you get the sub-brands. So the sub-brands basically are related to the mother brand. Let's call it that way. If I can give you 2 examples, let's use Apple. So Apple is the brand, and below Apple, diversify the portfolio. Still within the mother brand would be Apple TV, Apple Music, Apple Watch. The other example which I can give you would be fast food and beverage. Okay, let's go to McDonald's. McDonald's has McFeast, McFlurry, McDonald's, Mac, Apple. Okay, then you get branded houses. Okay, so this is very simple logic. You don't have to think out of the box. It's just an extension of who you are. For example, if we use FedEx, you get FedEx Express, FedEx Office, FedEx Grand. Something that you might be familiar with, for a second example, would be Microsoft. You get Microsoft Office, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Publisher, Microsoft, everywhere. It's a brand extension. So you gotta figure out, how do I cultivate my brand? How do I reposition myself to be viewed as the type of brand that I want? And what do I have to work on for people to see the architecture of my brand? And also, I need to position myself in better spaces, more spaces, or less spaces to be more positioned to meet the type of people that I desire in my sphere of influence. There we go, brand architecture and brand positioning. So try and carve out your roadmap to brand architecture. How do you want to be seen within your sphere of influence? And then position yourself. Ask yourself this question: what is the unique value that I can give to someone that meets me? I hope that helps. Do stay tuned for part 3. Do not